So in this college football semifinal matchup in the Peach Bowl, we had number 1 ranked LSU, who is 13-0 in the season, coming off of a win versus Georgia in the SEC championship game. They're going to be facing number 4 ranked Oklahoma, who is 12-1. Their only one loss came to Kansas State, and they just beat Baylor in the Big 12 championship game. So a big reason why everybody wanted to see this matchup is because these are two of the best offenses in all of college football this season. Not only are we about to see two of the best offenses in college football, but we're about to see two of the best quarterbacks in college football, and Jalen Hurts and Joe Burrow. Jalen Hurts transferred from Alabama after getting his starting job took by Tua Tagovailoa. Stayed at Alabama for the whole season last year, then transferred to Oklahoma, and you got Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow and his new offense for LSU has completely changed Joe Burrow. I mean, he looks like a whole entirely different quarterback than what we saw last season. Now he's a lock for the Heisman pretty much. And these two offenses, two of the best offenses in college football. Yards per game, pass yards per game, rushing yards per game, points per game scored. I mean, these two offenses, they can do it all. They can run the football, they can throw the football, they can do everything. Now, the big thing that people need to watch going into this game, time of possession. Time of possession is one of the biggest things in this game that people need to look out for, because Oklahoma leads the Big 12 conference in time of possession. And LSU is also up there in time of possession. So both of these teams, although it seems like they score very, very fast, very, very quickly, and they have a fast-paced offense, they really know how to control the ball. They know how to hold on to the ball, and they know how to wear down and tire out a defense. So these two opposing defenses, LSU's defense versus Oklahoma's defense. Oklahoma's defense has been a roller coaster. Early on in the season, this defense looked very, very good. Then in the midway point of the season, the defense started to struggle. So this defense for Oklahoma has been pretty much up and down, very inconsistent. Even in the Big 12 championship game, they were getting carved up by a third-string quarterback in Baylor, who was a true freshman, I believe. So this Oklahoma defense, we don't really know what kind of Oklahoma defense we're going to get. Are we going to get a good Oklahoma defense that we saw at the start of the college football season? Or are we going to get the Oklahoma defense that has been up and down, that's been really inconsistent? We don't really know. Now, LSU's defense has turned it on the last couple of weeks. And this defense has improved because they got in a little bit more healthy, and they're really improved over the last couple of weeks in that interior. And the defensive line, at the nose tackle and the defensive tackle position for LSU, they're really good. Over the last 2 weeks, I have seen very good play out of that LSU defensive line. Then you got to talk about LSU secondary. Derek Stingley is one of the best cornerbacks I've watched in a very long time. And I know it might be a little bit too early to say that, but this guy, Derek Stingley, is going to be a potential top 5, maybe top 10 pick whenever he declares for the NFL draft. I mean, this dude is absolutely sensational. Then you got Grant Delpit as well, who's going to be a potential top 15, top 10 pick in this upcoming year's draft in the 2020 NFL draft class. So you got a very good LSU team that's very good on the secondary. Now, turnovers. Both of these defenses, basically for most of the college football season, have struggled. So a big thing they need to watch in this game is the turnover battle. Whoever wins the turnover battle, I think 70% is going to end up winning this game. Have a 70% chance of winning this game if they're able to win the turnover battle. And the reason why turnovers are so important in this game is because when you have two high-flying offenses and your defense is not able to get stops, turnovers matter a lot. So whoever wins the turnover battle, I think, has a 70% chance of winning this game. Also, whoever is able to control time possession, because both of these teams are really good at holding on to the football. Although a lot of people may not think that or might not know that, look up the stats. Both of these teams hold the ball for a very good part of the games, basically the whole entire season. And although they score so fast at a rapid pace and things like that, and they're lighting up scoreboards, Oklahoma leads the Big 12 in time possession. LSU is up there in college football and the stats-wise in time possession as well. So both of these teams can both hold on to the football and tire out opposing teams' defense. So I'm expecting this game to be high scoring. I'm expecting a lot of points to be scored in this game. If this game doesn't end up having a final score that's up in the 40s, I'll be really surprised. Because both of these teams, offenses at times have been very unstoppable. You got Joe Burrow, who seems to be like a magician. He just makes plays. And you got Jalen Hurts, who is absolutely unstoppable when he chooses to tuck the ball and run. I've never seen a quarterback that runs like a running back. Now, a lot of people might say Lamar Jackson, but Jalen Hurts is a little bit more advanced running the football than Lamar Jackson is. Lamar Jackson has the shiftiness, he has the quickness. Jalen Hurts has the shiftiness, the quickness, but also the vision of a halfback. That's something that you don't see out of the quarterback position. Yeah, he can make guys miss. Yeah, he's shifty. Yeah, he's good in the open field. But vision and patience is what makes Jalen Hurts so good when he chooses to tuck the ball and run. You don't see that every day out of a quarterback. So Jalen Hurts has the running ability of a running back. And he's also improved as a passer. Although he does have his inconsistencies, he's still a much better passer than what he was in Oklahoma. So I'm really excited for this matchup. Expecting a lot of points to be scored. And I think this has the potential to be probably one of the best games played this season in college football. So looking at my keys to victory of both these teams to be able to do to win this game. For Oklahoma, they need to be able to force turnovers. Oklahoma's defense has kind of scared me. Because in the Big 12 championship game, at one point they were getting carved up by a third-string quarterback. Their starting quarterback, Charlie Brewer, got injured. He didn't return in the game, so they had their second-string quarterback came in. He didn't play that good. So then they had their third-string quarterback come in, who was a true freshman, and he was giving Oklahoma's defense a lot of fits. Now, I don't know, maybe it's because Oklahoma wasn't expecting him to come into the game. They didn't watch film. They didn't have no tape on him, things like that. So maybe he came into the game and he caught him by surprise. But Oklahoma's defense did show up when Oklahoma needed them the most. And overtime, on that fourth down play, when they ended up shutting down Baylor on that fourth down and winning the game for Oklahoma in overtime. But for Oklahoma's defense, which defense has been really inconsistent, their defense has been up and down. Some weeks they look really good. Some weeks they look eh. So I have a little bit more faith in LSU's defense than I do in Oklahoma's defense. So for Oklahoma, they need to be able to force turnovers. Because in the Big 12, a lot of people make jokes about the Big 12 not playing defense and things like that. But what they emphasize in the Big 12 a lot are key stops and key turnovers. So for Oklahoma to win this game, they're going to have to get some extra possessions to their offense. They're going to have to force some turnovers. They're going to have to get the ball back to the offense some way, somehow. And that's basically their version of playing defense in this game. Because I don't think either one's team is going to be able to get a lot of stops in this game. But I think Oklahoma's defense needs to force turnovers to win this game. Because I think LSU's defense is going to be able to get a couple of stops. But Oklahoma's defense, I don't really trust them like how I trust LSU's defense. Because LSU can get some stops. Oklahoma, don't really know. They've been too inconsistent. They've been too up and down. LSU's defense has played very well over the last couple of weeks. Versus Oklahoma's defense is still, and I don't really know about them. So Oklahoma, they need to be able to force turnovers, to get the ball back to their offense, get some extra possessions in their hands. Next thing they need to be able to do to win this game is they got to be able to control time possession. Oklahoma leads the Big 12 in times of possession. And that might be a surprise to a lot of people who don't really watch a lot of Oklahoma or haven't really paid attention to Oklahoma like that. But a lot of people think that Oklahoma just has a fast-paced offense. They put up points left and right, and they just light up the scoreboard. But they control time possession. And the reason why that's so important in this game is because if Oklahoma's able to hold on to the ball, they're going to tire out LSU's defense, and they're going to give their defense a lot of rest on the sidelines. So that's another reason why Oklahoma's defense has been really improved. And a lot of people aren't really talking about that. Since Oklahoma holds the ball a lot longer than what they were doing last season, their defense ends up getting a lot of rest than what they were getting last year. That's another big reason why their defense has kind of made a little bit of an improvement compared to where they were last season. So Oklahoma has to be able to control time possession, be able to keep Joe Burrow and this LSU offense off the field, and they need to be able to force some turnovers. If they're able to do that, force turnovers and control time possession, I think they got a good chance to win this game, and they got to be able to win the line of scrimmage. You can't control the time of possession if you can't win at the line of scrimmage. And Oklahoma, believe it or not, they're actually very good in the trenches and on the offense side of the ball, and sometimes on the defense side of the ball. They're really good up front because, look, you can't control time of possession, and you can't lead any conference in time of possession if you're not good up front. Oklahoma, they had to be able to win the line of scrimmage. LSU has been playing really, really well on the defense side of the ball in the trenches. And also, they have a pretty good offensive line, which I think is really underrated, because Joe Burrow has a lot of time to throw. And when you look at that LSU offense, how they throw the ball deep and things like that, anytime you run an offense like that, you got to have a good offensive line that's able to give that quarterback time to sit back and survey the field and throw to those deep vertical routes and let those deep vertical routes downfield develop. So LSU has to be able to do to win this game. LSU got to keep Jalen Hurts in the pocket. Jalen Hurts, a lot of Oklahoma fans get mad when I say this, but Jalen Hurts is improved, but he's not as accurate as the stats show. The stats for Jalen Hurts tell a lot when it comes to him as a passer. Yeah, he's improved, but he's not a 70% passer like what the stats may believe you to believe. The stats show you that Jalen Hurts is extremely accurate, but he's not. And if you go back and you watch Oklahoma this whole entire season, Jalen Hurts, sometimes he struggles with accuracy inside the pocket. We saw it in Baylor. We saw it in the Oklahoma State game. He struggles with accuracy sometimes in the pocket. And believe it or not, Jalen Hurts is better outside of the pocket than what he is inside the pocket. Now, he's okay inside the pocket, but he's better when he's outside the pocket making plays than inside the pocket, in my opinion. And what Jalen Hurts does well is making plays outside the pocket when he's able to tuck the ball and run. So if you're LSU, you need to keep Jalen Hurts in the pocket. Next thing LSU needs to be able to do is you got to get stops in the red zone. Because it's very hard to stop Oklahoma when they get inside the 20. When you got to worry about Jalen Hurts, you got to worry about the loaded group of halfbacks they got. And you also got to worry about CeeDee Lamb as well. So if you're LSU, you got to be able to get stops in the red zone. You got to get Oklahoma walking away with field goals instead of touchdowns. So the team that I'm taking to win this game, I'm taking LSU. Now, Oklahoma is a 10-point favorite to win this game. I don't really think LSU will cover the spread. I can't really tell you guys that for sure. But I can tell you that I think LSU will win this game because I think LSU is a better team than Oklahoma. Their defense is a lot better. You got two of the best defensive backs in the country, and Stingley and Delpit. And LSU has also been very good up front over the last couple of weeks. So I think LSU is going to be able to get a lot more stops in this game than what Oklahoma is going to be able to do. And that's why I'm going to take LSU to win this game 48-40 is my final score prediction for this game. So let me know what you guys think about it down in the comment section down below. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel for more NFL videos and college football videos. And thanks for watching.